Well, guys, it is officially that time of the year. MLB The Show 26 is just days away from releasing at this point, so this feels like a perfect time for me to do my year-in review on MLB The Show 25. I do this video every single year at the end of every MLB The Show's life cycle, and I go through and talk about the year in Diamond Dynasty, talk about some of the positives, the negatives, the highlights, and I just kind of give my overall thoughts and opinions on the mode this year. I do want to make a couple things clear before we get started. Number one, like I said, these are just my own thoughts and opinions. These might differ from yours. I got no issues. If there's disagreements, feel free to let me know in the comments what you thought about the game this year. Another thing is that this video is only talking about Diamond Dynasty. I'm not talking about Road to the Show, franchise, or any other game mode. I'm just talking about the year in Diamond Dynasty and its content. And lastly, I'm recording this video on Tuesday, March 3rd. So this is before we have any info about Diamond Dynasty in 26. There's been no trailer for DD. There's been no feature premiere. So if there's something I talk about in this video that has already been confirmed to be changed or fixed or whatever for 26, I just don't know it at the time I'm recording. So let's do it, man. Let's talk about MLB 25. I think what we have to start with is we have to kind of remember and understand what MLB The Show was trying to do this year. What was MLB 25 Diamond Dynasty all about? Well, to me, it seemed like MLB The Show was trying to take somewhat of a back to the basics approach. Back in MLB 24 and MLB 23, we had different iterations of the now infamous sets and seasons content model. That content structure was met with a lot of frustration and feedback from the community. So after MLB 24, SDS basically said, all right, we're ditching that and we're going back to the traditional year-long power creep. They were going back to something that they had success with in the past, and that resonated well with a lot of the community. We were just happy to see sets and seasons go. But it wasn't just the fact that they were bringing back the power creep. They were also bringing back some core fundamental elements of previous Diamond Dynasties. And one of those was the inning programs, now referred to as the inning XP paths. These were like 3 to 5 week programs that featured a reward path with a boss pack that had 3 really high overall players. Everything you did in the game basically funneled back into this reward path, and eventually you would unlock your boss pack and you would be able to choose one of the 3 bosses. This is something they introduced back in MLB 19. They brought it back in 20, 21. They started to change it up a little bit in 22. And then, of course, with 23 and 24, it was sets and seasons. So this was kind of a return to the original formula. But it wasn't just the inning programs returning. They also brought back the big Legends and Flashback collections. They started doing that in MLB 19 with that Honus Wagner. They did it again in 20 with the Mike Trout card. Then in MLB 21, they did a few of them throughout the year, and they did the same in 22. The Legends and Flashback collections were a big deal, so having these come back in the game was pretty significant. Don't worry, I will be coming back to this collection screen later. There is a lot to talk about when we get here. So like I said before, it felt like MLB The Show was trying to get back to the basics this year with bringing back some of these key foundational pieces of the mode from previous games, but they also had some big new additions this year, one of those being Weekend Classic. So many people had been waiting so long to see something like this come into MLB The Show. People have been clamoring for a Weekend League style competitive mode for as long as I can remember. I mean, dude, I think I made a wish list back in MLB 20 or 19, and it had a Weekend League on the thumbnail. This has been highly requested for so long, and honestly, I thought Weekend Classic was pretty good. Minus the very first one where they had to delay it a few hours, I actually thought Weekend Classic worked pretty seamlessly. I thought the rewards, especially in the top like 3 to 4 divisions, were really strong. It made the games a lot more intense because there was more on the line, and it really brought out that competitiveness. And I think Weekend Classic is great. I actually hope they do it a little bit more frequently in 26, maybe every 2 weeks. But they also added a new single player element. They added the new Diamond Quest mode into the game. And I know for some people this is a hot take, but I actually really liked Diamond Quest. I thought it was a great way to earn stubs. I liked that there was a bit of a skill element involved where if you play on the higher difficulties in those stadium challenges, you have a significantly higher chance to earn the rewards from that Diamond Quest board. Unless you were playing on like GOAT, it probably wasn't guaranteed, but it kind of forced people, or at least nudged people, to try to play something a little bit more difficult for a better chance at the reward. And I personally liked that. You know, I'm always just mindlessly grinding against the CPU. It was kind of nice to implement a little bit of a challenge into it as well. And I know I already said it, but Diamond Quest was a phenomenal way to earn stubs for a lot of players, and I expect the same to remain true in MLB 26. So with all of that, the old features returning, these big time new additions to the mode, MLB The Show looked like it was going to have a really big year for Diamond Dynasty, and overall, I thought the mode was solid this year, but it definitely had some issues. One of my biggest frustrations with this game this year was events. Dude, what the hell was the point of events this year, man? By removing cumulative win rewards specific to this mode, it made it basically pointless to play. I feel like the extent for people playing events this year was, oh, I'm a couple hits away from completing this mission in the multiplayer program. I'll just go hop into events real quick, get those hits, and leave. Like, it really felt like there was no purpose to this mode. And yeah, they added the win rewards later, but these aren't the cumulative win rewards. These are just the ones from one run. And I believe SDS said the reasoning for this is because they wanted events to be this kind of casual area where people could just try out things in the game or whatever. But brother, you literally have a casual mode 2 tabs away from events. You have a casual mode in the game. I don't understand the choice to take away rewards from this mode, and I cannot imagine their data showed that it was better for the mode. Because I actually liked events, man. I liked jumping in, playing, having some fun. You lose a game, oh well, there's no entry fee. You just go back in, pick your same team, and do it again. I really feel like this is just one of the worst changes they've made in a while. As far as Battle Royale, I really don't have much to say. I played probably the least amount of Battle Royale I have ever played across an entire year of DD. Like, legitimately, I think I did maybe 5 BR runs all year, and that's even generous. It might be 3. I don't really enjoy this mode. I don't play this mode. I would probably play this mode a lot more if they brought back the flawless rewards as cards you can earn in the program. I don't think they're gonna do that, so I probably won't be playing much BR next year. So yeah, I really just don't have much to say. I don't like this mode. I don't play it. You guys gotta let me know in the comments how BR was this year. But now I think it is finally time to address collections. Oh man, this was a sour spot for a lot of people this year. It got so bad to the point people started calling this game like MLB The Collection 25. We started throwing the term collection fatigue around. Collections in this game became exhausting. Of course, you have the live series collection where you have, you know, all the live series players. And this, for a lot of people, is a giant year-long grind, especially this year with how expensive some of the live series cards were. Like, Judge and Ohtani were ridiculous this year. So the live series collection alone is already expensive. And then, like we said earlier with the Legends and Flashback collections, those are back. And we already know those are going to cost a ton of stubs. But then MLB The Show started doing collections for basically like every card series in the game. Now, I don't mind collections like this, the Neon collection. All of these cards are available in Team Affinity, so if you do end up grinding out all 30 Team Affinity programs to get all of these Neon rewards, they just give you a few extra rewards in the collection. It's just a little cherry on top. It's a couple more. It's like that LeBron meme.
You know what? Here go 2 more for y'all.
I don't mind something like this at all. What I don't like are the annoying collections, and I don't think there's a better example of an annoying collection quite like the Pipeline Past collection this year. God, this content drop sucked. When this content dropped, I said it was one of the worst content drops ever released in the history of MLB The Show, and I stand by that. I don't know if this is #1 all time, but in my opinion, this is easily on the Mount Rushmore of bad content drops. And part of the reason it was so frustrating is because of this collection. Because not only were most of the cards in this collection just pretty shitty on their own, they came out at a point of the year where the power creep had basically already passed over a lot of these guys. Like, we were at the point where we were already starting to use 89 to 90s and above. So it didn't really feel like this content drop was pushing your team forward in any meaningful way. Maybe besides the Kyle Schwarber card, who was an insert player in packs, or Vlad Jr., who was the chase pack player the day this content dropped. The 2 most exciting players in the drop were both in packs. But here's the best part. If you wanted to complete this collection to unlock the 93 Corey Seager, you had to collect either Vlad or Schwarber. You had to either pull or buy one of those two cards to complete this collection on top of all the other ones that were ass. It also didn't help that Corey Seager wasn't even a 95. He wasn't even the same overall as Vlad. How was the collection reward not at least tied for the highest overall with a content drop like this? Like, it doesn't make any sense. It was crazy. And this is what I'm talking about when it comes to annoying collections. This content drop was a breaking point for a lot of people, and SDS did start to make an adjustment after this, because the next big collection we got was the Summer Series collection. And these cards weren't anything crazy, but they were at least a little bit better than what we got before. And in order to get the 95 Adley Rutschman, the collection reward, you did not need to get either of the chase pack or the insert player from packs. So that was a good adjustment on SDS's part, but at the end of the day, it was still a collection, and they just kept going all year, man. The New Threads collection with the Correa and the Mason Miller. You had a signature collection for Jorge Posada. You had the Home Run Derby X collection. I thought this one was really obnoxious, if I'm being honest. I mean, dude, they did it for the All-Star stuff as well. Do we really need a collection for the Home Run Derby winner? Do we really need a draft collection? If you're gonna have an All-Star collection, just have all the stuff funnel into the big one. It just got to the point where we started asking the question, do we need a collection for every single thing in the game? And bro, I haven't even talked about the Spotlight collections. The actual Lightning players were not hard to get because all you had to do was the Spotlight programs. If you finished those, you got the card at the end, then boom, when the Lightning player dropped, you pretty much already had them. But it was the retro Lightning collections that were crazy, especially here in April with this Carlos Santana. I'm pretty sure every single one of these cards came from packs, and you needed every single one of them to collect the Carlos Santana at the end. Like, dude, that's nuts. They definitely made an adjustment, though. They started to make the retro Lightning reward require less of these cards. They also gave you a pack as you collected a few of them, so it made it a little bit better, but still, it was just another collection on top of all the other collections that they had, on top of the big live series collection. Like, bro, the collections were exhausting this year. And this is coming from a guy that likes doing collections. I'm a content creator. This is coming from somebody that makes a living playing this game. I really hope SDS tones down the collections a little bit next year. I'm totally fine with the big Legends and Flashbacks collection, because at least at the end you're getting a 99, and it's usually a really good 99. Like, Ted Williams was one of my favorite cards for the entire year. But like, bro, do I really need a collection for the Egg Hunt Jacob deGrom? Like, I just don't think that's necessary. Now, I briefly mentioned chase packs when I was talking about collections, when I was talking about Vlad being in chase packs or whatever. I thought chase packs were also extremely obnoxious this year. I felt like we got way too many chase pack players this year. I think chase packs should be a lot more rare. I think SDS should do maybe like 10 to 12 of them per year. And I think they should be extremely good cards, because I want them to feel special. I want them to feel like I'm actually chasing it. And maybe I'm alone in this thought, or maybe I'm speaking in the minority here. Maybe you guys are cool with the amount of chase packs there were, because at the end of the day, each chase pack still kind of held its value on the market. They were normally pretty good cards for that point in the power creep, but I just don't need them every week and a half. Like, I don't need that many chase pack players. I feel like they lose some of their appeal at some point. But honestly, they're probably just going to release even more next year. So those were honestly some of my biggest gripes with the game this year. Events being basically useless, collections being overwhelming and exhausting, chase packs being way too frequent. I'd like to actually switch gears now and talk about some things that I thought were good. This is just a small thing right here, but exchanges. I like that they actually had some player exchanges where you could actually earn a player reward from them, like the Xavier Edwards or the Altuve. Neither of these cards were like game-changing or anything like that, but it was nice that the exchange tab actually kind of had somewhat of a use. Another thing I liked was just programs in general this year. I thought programs were great. I thought they had a lot of variety with program, things like New Threads, things like Last Ride or Rollin' in the Reds. I liked the takeover programs for the cover athletes. We have the Moonshot stuff, Postseason Past. We always get some Roberto Clemente stuff. I thought programs were great. I thought they were creative enough. I thought they were fun. And one thing I'm very thankful for is the fact that they separated all the programs into different tabs, like the player programs, the spotlight programs. If all of these were on the same screen, oh, dude, it would have been horrible for my OCD. I think one of the best things MLB The Show does is the milestone programs, like the Kershaw 3,000 strikeouts, Pete Alonso, the all-time Mets home run leader, Verlander 3,500 strikeouts, of course, the Mike Trout 400 homer program. In my opinion, these programs are some of the best things that SDS does. I like the Hall of Fame programs as well. I like that they brought like evolution stuff back. I think evolution is a sick concept in this game, but I feel like the evolution players were just so forgettable. Like, I just felt like I never really used any of them outside of like a couple times. Not saying they were bad, but I just never really found any of them to be like maybe top of the line at their respective position, but maybe they weren't meant to be like that. I don't know. Either way, I like the evolution content. I hope they keep it in, and I hope they kind of evolve on it, no pun intended. And I guess the last thing I'll touch on here is team affinity. They went back to each team having their own individual team affinity program as opposed to grouping them all together by division. I know some people hated that change. I was kind of indifferent to it. I think team affinity as a concept makes a lot more sense when it is separated by individual teams. Like when you think about it, it's like, why would I make progress for the Rangers team affinity when I'm using a full team of Astros players? But at the same time, it makes the grinds a little bit longer because you're only basically grinding one team at a time instead of 5. So yeah, I don't know. Team affinity was fine. I didn't really pay attention much to it this year other than when they dropped like the Neon and Color Storm and stuff like that. If they went back to the division format, I'd be fine with it. I'm fine with it staying the way it is. I'm just kind of indifferent to it this year. And that's just kind of going to lead me to the end here. Overall, I liked MLB 25. I liked it a whole lot better than both MLB 24 and 23, but kind of a low bar. I think next year, if they can just kind of tone down the collections and spread out some of those rewards in more like player-friendly ways of earning them, I think that could be really good for the game. But right now, at the end of 25, I'm feeling like a 7. I thought it had some really good stuff, but I also felt like there was some things that were just holding it back from reaching its full potential. I don't really know what to expect with 26. I gotta be honest, I do feel like I'm a little bit burnt out of Diamond Dynasty just in general. I don't know, man. I think I'm kind of at that point where the appeal of Diamond Dynasty doesn't really hit me in the same way it has in the past. I still enjoy the mode for sure, but I've already started to experiment with a lot of other content over the past couple years, and I definitely want to keep doing that in MLB 26. I mean, you guys have seen it recently. I've been posting, rebuilds and what if videos and tournaments and all these other types of offline style content. And I've had so much fun with that. I think you guys can also tell when I'm really enjoying making a piece of content rather than just kind of going through the motions. And I do feel like I did a lot of that in MLB 25. And I really just want to get back to making fun content that I enjoy making, because most of the time when I do make that content, a lot of you guys seem to resonate with it as well. So overall, in MLB 26, I'm still going to be playing Diamond Dynasty all year. I'm still going to be having, debuts and team builds and all the stuff you expect, but expect a lot more of the offline style videos as well. I don't know how long the content creation thing is going to last for me, so I want to at least have fun while I'm doing it. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm at with MLB 25 going into MLB 26. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts on Diamond Dynasty and MLB 25 down in the comments. Did you like this year? Did you hate it? Are you excited or indifferent for MLB 26? Let me know all your thoughts. Either way, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one.